This video is about the single mom sat inside the playground and a billionaire handed her an umbrella. If this story touches your heart, please mention where you are watching from in the comments. Please like the video and share your thoughts and comments. The rain fell softly at first, a gentle patter against the swings, the slide, and the sandbox that had seen better days. Each drop shimmered as it collided with puddles, creating ripples that reminded Lily of the delicate moments in her life. She sat on a damp bench, a well-worn paperback in her lap, but her eyes weren't really on the pages. Instead, they were drawn to the half-hearted attempts of her 6-year-old son, Noah, who was still trying to climb the jungle gym despite the ominous clouds gathering overhead. His laughter broke through the dreariness, a sound that warmed her heart even as tiny droplets began to soak through her thin sweater. Lily's life had become a series of small fights against the mundane, a routine crafted from necessity. A single mother, she often felt like a ship lost at sea, navigating through the waves of parenthood and work. Each day was a challenge, but also a quiet victory when she managed to find joy amidst the chaos. Just a little higher, Mommy. Noah shouted, his face painted with determination. His tousled hair was already speckled with rain. Careful, sweetheart, she called back, shifting on the bench and tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. She glanced around, noting the absence of other parents braving the weather. They were likely huddled inside warm homes, sipping coffee, while she embraced the chill in the air. As if on cue, dark clouds rolled in, casting the playground in shadow. A low rumble of thunder echoed in the distance. Just as Lily was about to call Noah down, she noticed a figure approaching from the nearby parking lot. He was tall, effortlessly confident, with a fitted black jacket that clung to his broad shoulders and a crisp white shirt underneath. His dark hair was slightly tousled from the wind, and as he got closer, she could see the sharp angles of his face illuminated by the dull light. Lily's heart raced as he neared. She was acutely aware of how frumpy she felt in her faded jeans and oversized sweater. He was undeniably handsome, exuding an air of sophistication that made her suddenly self-conscious. "Excuse me," he said, his voice smooth and rich, cutting through the sound of the rain. "You might want this." He held out a large black umbrella, a kind typically reserved for business meetings or fancy dinners, not playgrounds. "Oh, no, I couldn't possibly take that from you," Lily replied, her cheeks warming slightly. "I am sure you need it more than I do." His lips curved into a playful smile, one that hinted at mischief. "I insist, it's going to pour any moment now, and I'd hate to see you caught in the rain, plus I have a car nearby." She hesitated, torn between pride and practicality. "Well, it is very kind of you, but no." The sudden call from a nearby mother, who had just arrived with her own child, distracted Lily for a moment. Noel, still trying to climb, looked down at her beaming. "Mommy, look, I am almost at the top." "Just be careful, sweetie," she shouted back, her heart fluttering at the sight of his adventurous spirit. But when she turned back to the man, he was still standing there, umbrella poised and ready, a warm look in his eyes that made her feel a strange mix of flattery and embarrassment. "Please," he urged again, "it would make me feel better knowing you were not getting soaked." She finally relented, taking the umbrella from him with a shy smile. "Thank you, that is really thoughtful of you." "It is the least I could do," he replied, holding her gaze. "I am Ryan, by the way." Lily. The name felt heavy on her tongue, a reminder of everything she had been through. She glanced at Noah, who had now climbed down and was running toward them, rain-soaked but unbothered. "Mommy, look!" Noah exclaimed, his cheeks flushed with excitement. He pointed to the puddles forming around their feet. "Can we jump in them?" "Sure, just be careful," she laughed, the tension easing somewhat. Noah bounded off, splashing water with glee. Ryan watched Noah with a genuine smile, his demeanor softening. "He has a lot of energy, must take after you." Lily chuckled, but something in her stomach twisted. "Yeah, he does. I am not sure where he gets it from, honestly. It is like he is powered by pure sunshine." "Single mom?" Ryan asked, his tone casual but probing. "Is it that obvious?" she replied, a hint of vulnerability creeping into her voice. "And not at all," he reassured her. "Just a guess, based on the way you call him sweetheart, it is sweet." The compliment lingered in the air, and she felt the warmth rising to her cheeks again. "Thanks, he is my world," she admitted, glancing at Noah again, who was joyfully stomping through puddles. "Must be tough sometimes," Ryan observed, a subtle sympathy in his voice. Lily sighed, the weight of her choices pressing against her heart. "You could say that, but it is also incredibly rewarding. He keeps me grounded." "Do you have any help?" She hesitated, finding it difficult to share her burdens with a stranger. Not really, it is just us most of the time. There was a flicker of something in Ryan's eyes, perhaps recognition or empathy. I can imagine that is hard, but you're doing an amazing job. You should be proud. His words hung heavily in the air, a balm to her insecurities. Thank you, Ryan, that means a lot. Just then, Noah returned, still dripping wet but bubbling with excitement. Mommy, look at my new shoes. He lifted his foot, showcasing a pair of bright blue sneakers that had seen better days. Very nice, buddy. Let us keep them dry, okay? She said, shooting him a teasing look. Can I jump in the puddles now? Just a few more minutes, I promise. Then we'll all head home. Ryan looked down at Noah, amusement dancing in his eyes. You know, if you keep jumping like that, you're going to create a tidal wave. Noah giggled, clearly enchanted by Ryan's presence. Can you jump with me? You look like you do make a big splash. Lily felt a pang of unexpected jealousy as she watched the two interact. It was a simple moment, yet it ignited a spark of something deeper within her. Ryan leaned down slightly, engaging Noah in playful banter, and Lily's heart raced. Maybe I will if it stops raining, Ryan replied, playfully raising an eyebrow. Let us be friends, Noah declared, suddenly, his innocence evident. Ryan paused, glancing at Lily as if gauging her reaction. She felt a mix of surprise and delight, but also anxiety. Could she allow this stranger into their lives, even just a little? All right, friends it is, Ryan said, a genuine smile breaking across his face. But only if you promise to save me a spot on that jungle gym. I promise. Noah shouted, bounding back to the swings, laughter echoing in the rain-soaked air. Lily watched him, her heart swelling with pride and trepidation. He is a little charmer, isn't he? She said, turning back to Ryan, who was now studying her with intense interest. So are you, he replied softly, the tension crackling like electricity between them. Lily's breath hitched slightly. Mommy. Noah's voice cut through the moment, pulling her back to reality. Coming, she called back, her heart racing as she tried to shake off the unexpected chemistry with Ryan. The rain was now a steady rhythm tapping against the umbrella, and she felt the weight of the moment pressing heavily on her. Did she dare to let this charming man into their lives, even if just for a brief encounter? As she turned back to Noah, she caught Ryan's eye one last time, and in that fleeting moment she saw a glimmer of understanding. A silent acknowledgement of shared burdens and fleeting joys. Perhaps, just maybe, this rainy day at the playground was the start of something new. The rain continued to fall, a soft, relentless serenade that blanketed the playground in a cozy sort of gloom. Lily adjusted the umbrella with a practiced hand, ensuring it shielded both her and Noah as they played. She could feel Ryan's presence beside her, like a warm glow against the chill of the day. Hey, Noah, Ryan called, his voice resonating over the sound of splattering raindrops. Let us see who can jump the furthest in that puddle. Noah's eyes sparkled, excitement radiating from him like sunshine piercing through clouds. Can I, Mommy? He asked, his voice a sweet plea that made Lily's heart swell. Sure, but just be careful, she replied, her maternal instincts clashing with her desire to let him indulge in the joy of childhood. Ryan moved closer to the puddle, his tall frame casting a long shadow. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. The moment he shouted the last number, he launched himself into the air, his feet crashing down with enough force to send water flying in all directions. Noah squealed, eyes wide with delight, and followed suit, his smaller form splashing beside Ryan. They both erupted in laughter, a sound that tugged at something deep within Lily. The warmth spread through her chest as she watched them two boys, one big and one small, both reveling in the moment. Look at that splash! Ryan exclaimed, his eyes glinting with mischief. You're going to need a boat if you keep this up. I'll be the captain. Noah declared proudly, his arms wide as if he was steering a ship through a storm. Lily couldn't help but smile, though a flicker of anxiety brushed across her mind like the clouds above. She was grateful for the moment, yet part of her felt an odd pang of jealousy. Ryan was here, sharing laughter with her son, but there was also part of her that hesitated. Could she allow this charming man to become part of their little world, even if just for a day? After a few more jumps and laughter-filled moments, Noah finally slowed down, panting and beaming with joy. He rushed back to Lily, his little cheeks flushed from the cold. Mommy, can we do this every day? Every rainy day, she promised, brushing a wet strand of hair from his forehead. But only if we keep jumping in the puddles. Deal, Noah said, his enthusiasm infectious. Ryan approached, shaking droplets from his hair, his eyes bright with amusement. I think I might need a towel. Lily chuckled, the sound surprising her. You could always borrow one from Noah. He has a whole collection of mismatched towels at home. Very true, Ryan replied, a mischievous grin tugging at his lips. I think I'll pass on that. I don't need a towel to add to my collection of embarrassing moments. Lily's heart raced at the banter, an unexpected thrill sparking between them. There was something undeniably magnetic about Ryan, but she had to remind herself of the reality she lived in. There was risk in allowing someone into their lives, especially someone like him. So, what do you do, Ryan? Lily asked, her curiosity piqued as she tried to steer the conversation away from the fleeting tension. Me, I run a tech company, he replied, shrugging slightly. The casualness of his tone didn't hide the underlying authority it held. It is demanding work, but I love the challenge. A tech company? That sounds impressive. Thanks, he said, his eyes locking onto hers, making her acutely aware of the closeness between them. But honestly, I often feel like I am just trying to keep up with everything. Sound familiar? His gaze held a depth that felt both inviting and intimidating. Definitely, she replied, the weight of her responsibilities creeping into her voice. It is a constant balancing act, work, parenting. It is exhausting sometimes. Right. He nodded, his expression shifting slightly. I can imagine. It is hard to find time for yourself. Exactly. There was a heaviness in her voice now, a truth that lingered unspoken. Between work and caring for Noah, I don't have much time for me. I get that, he said softly, sincerity resonating in his tone. But you seem to be doing a great job, Lily. I mean, look at him. He gestured to Noah, who was now attempting to climb the slide again, giggling as he slipped slightly before regaining his balance. That is all him, she said, pride swelling through her. He keeps me grounded, reminds me to have fun. You are a great mom, Ryan stated, a hint of admiration in his voice. A flutter of warmth spread through her at his compliment, but it was quickly followed by a wave of self-doubt. I am just doing my best, she murmured, her gaze dropping to the ground. She felt the pressure of expectations weighing on her, both as a mother and as a woman. Sometimes that is enough, he replied gently, stepping a bit closer, the distance between them shrinking. Especially when you're redoing it alone. Alone, she echoed, the word tasting bittersweet. There was a heaviness in her heart, an ache for companionship she hadn't acknowledged in a long time. Noah's laughter rang out, pulling her back to the present. Mommy, look, I am at the top. Be careful, buddy, she called out, her gaze shifting back to her son, but not before catching Ryan watching her with a mixture of admiration and concern. Hey, I am going to grab some hot chocolate from that cafe down the street, Ryan said, breaking the moment. Want me to bring you some? Oh, no, you don't have to do that, she replied quickly, not wanting to impose. Please, he insisted, his tone light yet sincere. I can let you drown in the rain without a little warmth in your life. She hesitated, weighing his offer. Are you sure? I don't want to be a bother. You are not a bother, Lily, you and Noah are a delight. His words sent an odd flutter through her stomach, and for a moment she simply stood there, caught in the gravity of his gaze. Okay, then, that would be nice, she finally relented, feeling a rush of warmth at the prospect of sharing cocoa. All right, stay put. He flashed a confident grin and turned to walk away, but not before looking back over his shoulder. And keep him out of trouble, will you? Seriously, I have my hands full with him and the rain, she called after him, shaking her head with a laugh. Just a few minutes, he replied, his voice carrying on the wind as he jogged away. With Ryan gone, Lily turned her full attention to Noah, who was now climbing the slide with a determined expression. Careful, my little adventurer, she called out, her heart swelling with both love and protective instinct. I am fine, Mommy, he shouted back, his giggles blending with the sound of the rain. As she watched him, she couldn't shake the feeling that this rainy day had shifted something inside her. Ryan's presence had ignited a spark she hadn't felt in ages, an intriguing blend of warmth and uncertainty. What if this was just a fleeting encounter? Or a moment of connection that would dissolve with time? The thought sent a shiver through her, one that wasn't entirely unwelcome. Mommy! Noah's voice broke into her thoughts like a splash of cold water. Can you come help me? Coming, she shouted back, rushing toward him. Just as she reached the base of the slide, he tumbled down, landing in a puddle with a thud that sent water flying everywhere. Lily couldn't help but gasp, instinctively reaching out to him. Noth! He looked up at her, his face a mixture of surprise and sheer delight. I am okay, it is like a water slide. Of course you are, she said, rolling her eyes playfully, but relief washed over her. just like your mother, always getting into trouble. Noah grinned, a streak of mud across his cheek making him look even more mischievous. You be fun, Mommy. Fun? You mean crazy, she laughed, taking a seat beside him in a puddle, rain soaking through her clothes. But I'll take fun over crazy any day. He leaned against her, his warmth seeping through her damp sweater. It was moments like these that reminded her why she fought so hard to create joy in their lives. And yet, the thought of Ryan returned, unbidden, bringing with it a complexity she didn't quite understand. As the rain drizzled down, Lily looked up, watching the grey blanket of clouds begin to thin, revealing hints of blue. Maybe, just maybe, this day was only the beginning of something new. The rain had lessened to a gentle mist, and Lily found herself lost in the rhythmic patter as she and Noah sat in the puddle, their laughter intermingling with the sound of water. It felt as if the world around them had faded, leaving just the two of them in their little universe. Can we make a splash together again? Noah asked, his eyes sparkling with mischief. He bounced on his knees, sending droplets flying in all directions. All right, you little puddle monster, but just this once, Lily replied with a grin, preparing to jump. With a synchronized leap, they both landed in the puddle, the water erupting around them like a miniature tsunami. Noah squealed with delight, his laughter echoing against the playground equipment. A moment later, Lily heard footsteps approaching. Turning, she caught sight of Ryan returning, 2 steaming cups of hot chocolate cradled in his hands. His expression shifted from curiosity to amusement as he watched them. Is this how you treat the playground? I expected more of a civilized affair, he teased, arching an eyebrow at their muddy attire. Noah insisted on a water slide, Lily replied, trying to suppress a laugh. I am merely following orders. Ryan chuckled, clearly amused. I see. Well, have you brought reinforcements? He held out one of the cups, steam curling up into the cool air. Thanks, Lily said, accepting the warm drink with a grateful smile. She inhaled the sweet chocolatey aroma, feeling the warmth seep into her fingers. Noah reached for the other cup, his eyes wide with anticipation. Yummy, thank you. I figured I'd save us both from hypothermia, Ryan replied, handing Noah the cup, watching as he took a tentative sip and his face lit up with joy. That's good, Noah exclaimed, beaming as he looked up at Ryan. Can you stay and play with us? Lily's heart skipped a beat at the invitation. The easy affection between Noah and Ryan made her feel both hope and anxiety. Did she really want to invite someone into their lives so freely? I would love to, but I think I might get wet, Ryan said, glancing down at his dry clothes, his smile playful. I wouldn't want to ruin my reputation as a sophisticated billionaire. Oh no, we can have it. Lily joined in on the teasing, feeling more at ease with Ryan's presence. We wouldn't want you to lose your shiny title. Ryan laughed, and the sound was like a soft melody in the air. Okay, you've convinced me, but only if you promise to keep the tidal waves to a minimum. Deal. Noah shouted, bouncing on his feet. As they moved towards the jungle gym, Lily felt a strange thrill flickering in her chest. Ryan's playful banter was infectious, the way he easily connected with Noah tugging at her heart in a way she hadn't expected. All right, let us see who can climb the fastest, Ryan declared, his competitive spirit shining through as he positioned himself next to Noah at the base of the jungle gym. Lily watched them both, feeling a momentary pang of jealousy as Ryan knelt to Noah's level. You ready? He asked, playful seriousness etched on his face. Yeah, Noah shouted, determination etched in his features. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Ryan called, and they both raced up the jungle gym, laughter spilling out as they clambered up the rungs like a pair of raccoons. Lily couldn't help but smile, but at the same time, she was overwhelmed by the sudden swell of emotions. Ryan's easy charm coupled with Noah's radiant joy ignited a warmth within her, conflicting with the protective instinct she had honed over the years. Mommy, look. Noah shouted from the top, waving his arms like a flag of victory as he perched proudly on the platform. I am the king of the jungle. Long may you reign. Ryan cheered, joining him at the top, the two of them sharing a moment of uncontainable glee. Lily felt an odd mix of admiration and insecurity as she watched them. Just as she was about to call out a warning about being careful, Ryan turned to her with a mischievous grin. Do you think you can handle 2 wild animals? Oh, I am sure I can, she replied, trying to sound playful despite the fluttering in her stomach. I've dealt with a whole zoo of them before. Noah's a handful, Ryan admitted, his tone subtly reassuring. But I can see where he gets it from. Lily's cheeks flushed slightly at his compliment, the way his gaze lingered on her making her heart race. I do my best, she said softly, unsure how to navigate this unexpected attention. So, what is it like being a single mom? Ryan asked, his voice gentle, as if he understood the weight of his question. It is challenging, she replied honestly, searching for the right words. But also the most rewarding thing, yes, my lie. I can see that, Ryan said, his expression softening. You're really doing a great job, really. A heart swelled with gratitude. Thank you, that means a lot. It is not always easy, though. I get that, he replied, a hint of understanding in his voice. Life can throw curveballs when you least expect it, but you handle it with grace. I try, she said, a bittersweet smile on her lips. But sometimes I feel like I am just holding it together by a thread. You're stronger than you think, he assured her, stepping closer. Space between them seemed to shrink, an unspoken tension swirling in the air. Before she could respond, a loud scream from Noah cut through their moment. Mommy, I am stuck. Lily's heart dropped. What do you mean stuck? She called out, her motherly instinct kicking into high gear. I can't get down. Noah's voice echoed down from the jungle gym, panic lacing his words. Lily rushed forward, glancing at Ryan with a look of urgency. Stay here. She darted toward the jungle gym, her heart racing. Hold on, buddy, I am coming, she called, her pulse quickening as she climbed up the rungs. As she reached the top, she could see Noah clinging to the side, his little face a mixture of fear and excitement. Just take a deep breath, you're okay, she reassured him, feeling her heart race as she took his hand. Let us climb down together, alright? Okay. Noah said, his voice steadier as he nodded, squeezing her hand tightly. As they descended, Lily's mind flickered to Ryan waiting below, concern etched in his expression. She managed to smile for him when they reached the ground, but the moment held an electric charge. You alright? Ryan asked, stepping forward with concern. Yeah, just a little scare, she replied, brushing her damp hair away from her face. That was some impressive climbing, Ryan said, the warmth of his voice soothing her nerves. You really know how to handle a crisis. Lily chuckled, trying to ease the tension. I am just glad I didn't lose him to the jungle. Mommy, can we jump in the puddles again? Noah asked, his excitement returning. Lily exchanged a glance with Ryan, and they both laughed at Noah's exuberance. Sure, buddy, but let us keep it to a minimum this time. We don't want to scare anyone off. No promises, no shot back, dashing toward the nearest puddle. Looks like we're in for another round, Ryan said with a playful sigh. Come on, I'll race you. Lily challenged, feeling the thrill of competition spark in her. With a playful grin, Ryan accepted the challenge, and they both took off toward the puddles, laughter ringing in the air as their feet splashed through the water. The moment felt liberating, a release from the weight of adult worries. Each splash was a reminder that joy came in the simplest forms, often found in the laughter of a child or the warmth of a stranger's kindness. Okay, I think I've had enough, Ryan said, finally stepping back, his clothes soaked in a playful smile on his face. Lily turned to him, her heart fluttering at the sight of him, water droplets glistening on his skin, his hair tousled and wild from their joyous escapade. About ready to admit defeat, she teased, raising an eyebrow. Never, he declared, laughter still dancing in his eyes. But I may need a minute to dry off before I take on the next challenge. As they caught their breath, the air around them charged with something unspoken, a connection forged through laughter and shared moments. Noah, oblivious to the tension swelling between the adults, rushed back, his cheeks flushed from the rain and excitement. Can we do this every day? I don't see why not, Ryan said, looking at Lily thoughtfully. As long as you promise to keep making those amazing hot chocolates. I promise, she replied, heart racing as their eyes met, a silent understanding passing between them. As the clouds began to part, revealing patches of blue, Lily felt the sunlight breaking through the grey clouds like a gentle promise, each ray a reminder of hope and new beginnings. Playing in the puddles had brought a sense of liberation she hadn't felt in years, and now, as she stood there soaked to the skin, she couldn't help but smile at Noah's infectious energy. Mommy, can we jump one more time? Noah asked, eyes wide with excitement, already positioning himself for another splash. Just one more, and then we'll get warm, I promised, she relented, her exhaustion momentarily forgotten. Yay! Noah squealed, taking a running start. She joined him, the laughter bubbling between them like an uncontainable force. On 3, she called, the thrill of the moment sending a rush of adrenaline through her veins. 1, 2, 3. Together, they leapt into the largest puddle, water exploding around them like a mini tidal wave. Best day ever, Noah declared, beaming up at her. Lily chuckled, her heart swelling with joy. I think it is. Just then, Ryan approached, shaking droplets from his hair, his dark jacket now splattered with mud. I think that splash was heard a mile away, he teased, a playful light in his eyes. Lily felt her cheeks flush again at the sight of him, her pulse quickening. Well, you encouraged it, she said, trying to sound light-hearted while feeling a wave of shyness. Guilty as charged, he replied, stepping closer, the space between them narrowing in an instant. But I'd do it all over again if it meant seeing that smile on his face. Noah ran to Ryan, tugging at his sleeve. Did you see that? We made a tidal wave. Ryan knelt down, meeting Noah's gaze, his expression warm and genuine. I did a urea natural at puddle jumping. Have you thought about going pro? Absolutely. Noah replied, his eyes bright with possibility. And you can be my coach. Lily watched them, her heart swelling with pride for her son and a strange mix of longing and uncertainty for Ryan. She found herself caught in a moment, yet overwhelmed by her own inner conflict. Could she allow herself to feel this connection? Maybe I'll have to draw up a contract, Ryan joked, glancing at Lily with a roguish grin. A coach can work without proper terms, after all. Terms like no jumping in the mud? Lily countered, unable to help herself. Ryan laughed, the sound rich and intoxicating. That would be part of it, yes, but I'd also include a clause about mandatory hot chocolate breaks. Wow, that sounds like a real challenge, she replied, smiling despite her internal hesitation. I might need a team of lawyers for that. No, piped up, I can be your lawyer, Mommy. And what would your fee be? Ryan asked. Cookies. No, exclaimed, his small face serious yet playful. Cookies it is. Ryan agreed, the mutual laughter weaving a comfortable web around them. For a moment, Lily felt the tension between her heart and mind easing. But as the laughter faded, an uncomfortable thought crept in. Was this just a fleeting distraction? She had worked so hard to create stability for Noah, did she dare risk it on something so unpredictable? All right, my little lawyer, let us get you dry, she said, her voice steadying as she faced Noah. Then we can head home. Do we have to leave already? Noah asked. Just for a little while, but we can come back tomorrow, I promise, Lily said, kneeling to his level. Can we invite Ryan too? Noah asked, glancing between them with innocent enthusiasm. Caught off guard, Lily's heart raced. Well, she began, but Ryan jumped in. I'd love to come if you're okay with it, Lily. The directness in his voice sent a thrill through her. I mean, if you want, she stumbled, feeling vulnerable under his gaze. Absolutely, Ryan confirmed, sincerity lacing his words. I had a blast, plus I could use a good laugh. See, Mommy? Noah interjected, bouncing on his heels. It has settled. Lily took a deep breath, her heart fluttering at the thought. Okay then, it has settled, she agreed, feeling a mix of excitement and dread. As they made their way back to the car, a weight settled on her chest. Could she really invite Ryan into their world? He seemed so carefree and full of life, while she felt burdened by responsibilities. Do you live nearby? Ryan asked, breaking her reverie. Just a few blocks away, she replied, her thoughts racing. In a small apartment, it is cozy. I am sure it is, he said, glancing at her with understanding. Sometimes it is the small places that hold the most warmth. Lily met his gaze, the sincerity in his eyes pulling her in. It can be, she admitted, a hint of vulnerability creeping into her voice. But it can also feel a bit isolating. Ryan nodded, his expression softening. I can imagine. Life can feel that way sometimes, but it sounds like you create a lot of joy, especially for Noah. Thanks, she replied, feeling that familiar warmth spread through her. He brings the light, I just try to keep the darkness at bay. As they reached the car, she opened the door for Noah, her heart racing at the thought of Ryan being invited into their lives, even just for a little while. When she turned, she found him watching her, an unreadable expression on his face. Hey, I hope you don't mind, Ryan started, his tone serious. But I've really enjoyed this afternoon, you both feel like home. A rush of unexpected emotion washed over Lily. Home, she echoed softly, the word wrapping around her heart like a warm blanket. Before she could respond, Noah jumped in. You can be part of our home too, Ryan. Ryan laughed, but there was a glint of sincerity in his eyes. I'll take that as a compliment, buddy. Lily felt a wave of conflicting emotions crash over her. The warmth of Noah's innocent declaration mingled with a fear of opening up to someone new. As they settled into the car, Noah chatted away about puddle jumping strategies while Ryan engaged him with playful banter, the ease between them palpable. Yet Lily remained silent, her mind racing with uncertainty. The drive felt both short and long, every turn a reminder of the life she had built, the struggles, the victories, the loneliness that sometimes crept in at night. Once they reached home, Noah sprinted inside, dropping his wet shoes by the door. "I am going to get a towel," he yelled, disappearing into the depths of the apartment. Lily turned to Ryan, who had remained by the car, his gaze thoughtful. "Do you want to come in for a bit?" she offered hesitantly, feeling a swell of hope and fear intertwining. "I'd love to," he replied, stepping closer. "But only if you're reassured I don't want to intrude." "Yes, it is fine," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. "It would be nice to chat a bit more." As they entered the cozy apartment, Lily felt a flutter of nerves. The walls were painted a soft yellow, filled with pictures of her and Noah, capturing moments of joy and resilience. "Wow, this is great," Ryan said, his gaze sweeping over the space. UV made it feel so warm and inviting. "Thank you," Lily replied, feeling a blush creep to her cheeks. "I try." Noah returned, a towel draped over his head, looking like a little wet dog. "Are we having hot chocolate again?" he asked, bouncing on his feet. "Absolutely," Lily replied, heading to the kitchen, feeling grateful for Noah's energy breaking the tension. As she prepared the hot chocolate, Ryan leaned against the counter, watching her with a soft smile. "You really know how to create a cozy atmosphere." Lily met his gaze, her heart fluttering at the compliment. "Thanks, it is important to me that Noah feels at home here." "I can see that," he replied, sincerely lacing his words. "You are doing a fantastic job, Lily." The sound of praise warmed her, but the weight of doubt lingered. "I am just trying my best," she said, pouring hot milk into their mugs. "Your best is more than enough," Ryan assured her, his gaze steady. "It is clear he adores you." "Thanks," she murmured, feeling a swell of gratitude. But just as the warmth blossomed, doubt crept in. Was she allowing herself to hope for something more than just friendship? Noah's interruption brought her back to reality. "Look, Mommy, I am all dry," he exclaimed, twirling around. Lily laughed, her heart swelling with affection. "You look great, buddy,"